What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Mike Reborn, man, and I'm back with another reaction video, man. Today we're gonna be reacting to the infamous Piers Morgan. Well, should I've said infamous? I don't know, man. But listen, for some of you that may not know, Piers Morgan is, politically speaking, I would say he's on the left, but there are times when he's on the right too. So I would say he's kind of like in the middle overall. But basically what's going on in this video is that we are having a little debate. And my boy Zuby, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, he's basically going to be debating this idiotic black woman about how men cannot be women and vice versa. It's very sad that we're having a debate like this in our society, but it's really pathetic. And I never thought I would be living in a society where this is even a discussion. But if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, we're gonna hop straight into the video.
I'm joined now by the British Olympic marathon runner, Mara Yamauchi, and by rapper and podcast host Zuby. Great to see you here, Zuby, who once took part in a weightlifting competition 4 years ago as a woman to kind of prove a point. And guess what? He won. And by
course,
contributor Paula Roan Adrian, who will still be attempting to defend the indefensible on this issue.
She looked like somebody
Frank,
I know.
to be clear, or Glenn Frank, whichever Glenn or Glenique is identifying as this week, was invited to appear but pulled out this morning. And like I say, Glenique or Glenn, again, we don't know because Glenique's going back to being Glenn in future races and has always run as Glenn before, did say it was wrong. But you are asked when you enter the London Marathon, which category do you want to run in? Male or female? Or non-binary? It's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous, as I keep saying. But there are still people...
It is ridiculous, man. It definitely is. And one thing I gotta say is, right, is that I'm really seeing this stuff really happen, like, even in my own personal life, man. The other day, I was just filling out an application, something that had to do with school, and basically, some of you that may not know, I'm in college, but anyway, I was filling out this application, and it was asking for my gender, like how most applications ask for your gender, right? It said male, female, non-binary, and then they had an option that said, or you not specified. You don't want to say what gender you are. You get what I'm saying? And I'm like, bro, when I was growing up, it was only male and female. They didn't have this non-binary stuff that they got going on now. They didn't have this stuff. So now I'm just like at a loss for words right now. Like, I really don't know what's happening, bro. This is crazy.
Just stop making such a fuss about it. So, let's have a little chat about this. Well, Zuby, let me start with you, because you come all the way in here. Great to see you in London. I love the fact that you tested all this 4 years ago, and you did it to raise the problem as an issue. And of course you demolished all the females that you were up against, because physically, as a biological male, you're simply more powerful. But you exposed the futility, if you like, and unfairness and inequality of self-identity if it becomes limitless like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been talking for more than 5 years at this point, but especially the past 4 publicly about the absurdity of the issue. And that's why back in February 2019, I had that tweet I put out there with a video of me breaking the British women's deadlift record while claiming I identified as a woman.
You literally broke the women's record.
Yeah, it was. So to be clear, it wasn't in a sanctioned competition, but it was from one of my training sessions, just showing how easily I could lift a weight that's...
Well, we're looking at it now.
Kilos.
This is you as a woman.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly...
lifting about 17 Paula Roan Adrian, I would imagine. And I know you like a bit of weightlifting, Paula, so why don't you try and lift a bit of that later in your gym? See how you get on. Here's a spoiler alert, you won't be able to. Not because you're not a very strong lady, and not because you're not a very committed athlete in your own right.
Because of the biological differences.
Now, do you get it? Is the penny dropping?
So I get it, but what I wonder is whether you get it, Piers.
What am I missing?
Oh, brother. Okay, now we're starting to head into the delusion factor. Okay, let's see what she has to say.
Why it is you're struggling with the fact that some people are different.
I don't.
And the people who have decided that they are different and who want to live a different life, some of them have the capacity to do that medically and legally, and they should be permitted to do
respect that. Always have done. always supported trans people's rights to fairness and equality.
Okay, so
right to the point, it clearly erodes women's rights. That's my only concern about it.
So where the absurdity comes, I worry, is where we've got this example of the marathon runner. And this was a fun run. It's the marathon.
It's not a fun run.
Great example. It's a great example.
Tens of thousands of people raise a ton of money.
Okay, so basically what she's saying is that because it's not an actual competition, well, according to her, it's not like an actual real competition, and it's just like some event where people are just running and just having fun, like how she's saying, right? Why should we care who participates? That's basically what she's saying. And my retort to that would be, well, regardless if it's competitive or not, regardless if it's fun or not, we cannot live in a fantasy world and just think that, okay, well, if this man really thinks he's a woman, then that must mean it's true because that's how he feels inside. No, that's a fantasy. That's not reality. You get what I'm saying? And if we choose to live in a society that's based off of fantasy and not reality, the society is doomed to collapse. I mean, the society itself, even today, is collapsing as it is. So, but I just don't understand this logic. I really don't get it. So, but I could just tell that this is going left. You know what I'm saying? This is going very left, and she's about to say some stuff that's really about to piss me off. But let's see what she got to say.
And it's a serious competitive race.
It's a great example of people getting the opportunity to push themselves, not only personally, but also in terms of their charities.
Look at this dude, bro.
And this is a person who did that. And they are now fearful, this person. They're so fearful. They've had to apologise. They've had to offer to hand back their medal.
Well, they weren't that fearful because Glenn entered as Glenn Eek, and Glenn Eek finished a lot further in the race in the women's field than Glenn would have done in the men's field.
And how relevant is that to you, Piers?
Actually, to everyone I know, to everybody I know that races in the London Marathon, every position counts. They all want to improve their time.
It wasn't a gold medal in the Olympics.
Actually, the
front
runners in the London Olympics.
It was about taking part.
Do you think it's meaningless, the London Marathon?
No, absolutely
not.
I've competed in the London Marathon, and I see, and people running past me. I see people running past me of all different sizes, shapes, running for all different types of causes. And that's what it's all about. It's inclusivity.
All right, but let me bring in an actual Olympian rather than somebody who sounds like she thinks she ought to be one. Mara, you've been listening very patiently to all this. You've been a proper athlete here.
I can't believe this is like an actual debate. Like, I can't believe we're actually discussing something like this. This is really insane.
So, males and females have... there's a massive difference in our physical abilities. In upper body strength, like in Zubi's bench press and deadlift women's world records, you know, there's a massive difference. In running, it's about 10%. Therefore, we must have sex-based categories, male and female. Otherwise, females would be entirely absent from sport. And to answer Paula's point about it being a fun run, yes, a lot of people enjoy it and do great things like raising money. But Glenn could have done that in the men's category.
Exactly.
And not caused unfairness for the 20,000 odd females who ran in the mass race.
She is 100% right. He could have did that in the men's race. If it's really just about having fun, why didn't he do that in the men's race since he's a biological male? Why did he have to compete with a whole bunch of women and feel all superior because he's racing with a bunch of women? Come on, man. That's not fair to the women that are out there trying to enjoy themselves. And you want to be a dude at racing women when you could be doing that with other men. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, oh, man, bro. And this whole idea that men and women are equal and we're not different, that's just another stupid ideology to even have, or just a stupid way of thinking, bro, because that's just not true, man. Like, men and women are different. We will always be different. We are different in so many ways. We are the same in the sense that we are human. We're both human beings, but on a biological structural level, we are different. And that's just how it is, man. That's how God made us, you know? I know some of you may not be religious, but regardless if you're religious or not, you can't deny the fact that we're all different in when it comes to a biological structural perspective. So, yeah, man, y'all really gotta stop with that nonsense, bro.
To also clarify that Glenn ran as Glenn in the Tokyo Marathon last month, but also in the women's category, as he did in London. And, you know, you can say, well, the mass race is just a bit of fun, the mass race at the London Marathon. But an event like that is either a sports competition or it isn't. If you're going to say it's just a fun run, then why do they have a measured course? Why do they have timing equipment and a referee to enforce the rules? You know, even if people enjoy themselves and earn and raise money for charity, it still is a competition. Rules matter, and people have to respect the rules. And Glenn on GB News gave an interview last night. It was clear he had no idea what the rules are. He was talking about surgery and passports, but the rules, British athletics rules, which apply to the London Marathon, required testosterone suppression to under 5 nanomoles for 12 months to become eligible, and then continue suppression to remain eligible. He was talking about hormone therapy in the future tense, so it's clear he's done no testosterone suppression at all. He wasn't eligible for the female category, and therefore my view is he should be disqualified because he's not eligible.
Well, no question. There's no question of that. I mean, what's interesting to me, two things.
Yo, he looks crazy, bro. I'm sorry, like I don't mean to laugh, but he just looks crazy.
Their favorite phrase for stating what are simple biological facts, but also you by your own admission, you're slightly left-leaning. You're not on the right. You're not trying to score some political point against the left. Yeah. And like a lot of people, I mean, I've always probably politically been slightly left of centre, maybe centre. I'm not really a journalist. I don't really care about an ideology either way, to be honest with you. But I'm certainly not on the right. But like a lot of people, like you, like me, like Bill Maher interviewed last week in America, we find ourselves completely bemused that people so-called liberals on this ultra woke side now of the spectrum have lost their minds.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a centre-left voter all my life, but for me this isn't about left or right. For me,
specifically, it's Gen Z that lost their minds. It's really the young generation that grew up with the internet and stuff. It's really that generation that has lost their minds, if you really think about it. And I'm not gonna generalize all of them, because there are some like me who also grew up in that generation that still live in reality and still know that there are biological differences between men and women. So the fact that we are even having a debate or a discussion about this, it really goes to show you that this specific generation, which would be Gen Z, they are the ones that have caused society to be in such a destitute state that it's in. You know what I'm saying? So this is very, very concerning. Like, for real. Like, this is crazy, bro.
For me, this is about the right to safety, dignity, privacy, and in sport, fair competition and safety for 51% of the population. And people say, oh, Glenique only finished 6,100 and something, you know, get a life. But nearly 14,000 women suffered a worse finish position.
Yeah.
What I would say to people who say that is, okay, how many women do you think it's okay to suffer to indulge the feelings of one male competing in the female category? Give us a number.
Yeah, I totally agree. And what about, I mean, I said to Paula, what about Laurel Hubbard, the New Zealand weightlifter, who qualified for the first Olympics a couple of years ago, having set records in the women's field, but she took the place of a woman weightlifter. The average age for the weightlifters in that competition was about half Laurel Hubbard's age. She'd been very unsuccessful as a male weightlifter by comparison, but she deprived a biological female of an Olympic place in that team. That, to me, is completely wrong. Now, someone said to me on TV in America last week, a female congresswoman, well, what would you do about it then? I went, well, fine, I want trans athletes to be able to compete fairly and to be able to compete. So they either compete against their biological sex, which seems to me physically fair, or they have a completely new category of trans sport. Why not?
So there's two things here. Just getting back to the marathon. If Glenique wasn't eligible, then there's no discussion here. Because absolutely, if she wasn't eligible, then she wasn't eligible. What I'm talking about in terms of the marathon is, when I ran the marathon, I was running with men and women, young people, old people, all running together. And what I'm saying is this fear that the headline around this is bringing up. It's bringing up the fear. It's making very vulnerable people, and we know that they're very vulnerable because we're told by the stats that they are the most likely group of people to commit suicide. So this is not just about a fun run. This is not just about women who require vulnerable spaces. This is not what we're talking about.
Okay, but Zubi, I would say to that of course, I'm very aware of the issues that trans people have had and continue to have. But I think people like Leah Thomas, people like Glenique here, they cause massive, bigger problems for the trans community. They make the whole thing look like a mockery.
Yeah.
They make a mockery of being trans.
Yeah.
And when you put your hand up as a 6'4" biological man and say, I am now...
That's true. That's true. They do make a mockery of the entire trans movement. I know there are trans people out there that do not agree with this woke ideology that this, woke trans movement has had on the internet, on TikTok, on YouTube. You feel me? There are some trans people out there that are completely normal and they just want to live their lives. They don't care about having all the attention, and they don't care about stuff like that. They just want to live peaceful lives, and they just want people to accept them for who they are. That's really all they want. And I'm gonna just keep it 100 with you. If you're trans and that's and you just want to be accepted for what you are, by all means, I'm all for that. I'm definitely all for that. You feel me? You live your life. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with that. Is the problem I had with it is when you start to manipulate and brainwash kids into it. And then not only that, but I also have a problem with you forcing me to change my vocabulary just to appease your feelings. You get what I'm saying? So once you start doing that stuff to me, then that's when I have a problem. But other than that, live your life. Do what you want. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It don't got nothing to do with me. But this is crazy, man. This is crazy. I can't believe society is in such a destitute state like this. This is unbelievable.
I'm competing against women in a swimming pool. No trans person who doesn't want that attention is doing anything other than saying, this is making my life hell. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, you're absolutely right in that the so-called activists are harming the group that they're claiming to advocate for, as well as harming 51% of the whole human population. Because let's be real, all of this stuff, all the negative downstream impacts are on girls, on women. They are not on boys and men at all. I'd say this whole thing is incredibly misogynistic, and I don't like to throw that word around too much. To take the conversation up a level as well, I have a question, and the whole thing is, why are we trying to force people, and why are so many people entertaining the denial of reality itself?
Yeah.
Women's rights are incredibly important. Fairness in sports is important. Safety and security and privacy, all of these things are very important. The fundamental problem at the root of this is everyone dancing around pretending that a man can truly be a woman and a woman can truly be a man. This is not me being transphobic or hateful or being a bigot, anything like that. It's simply that reality exists. Biology is real.
And is that reality a legal one? Because in this country
reality,
it is a legal reality, Zubi, that you can change your gender.
You cannot change.
What legal reality? What does that even mean? Legal reality. She just said, well, is it a legal reality? We're not talking about legal reality. That doesn't even make any sense. What do you mean by legal reality? We're talking about what is true. That's what we're talking about. Why are you adding legal to it? As if it's some kind of fucking crime or something. Like, we're talking about the truth here. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, these people are weird.
Your biological sex. It's physically impossible.
I'm saying to you,
it is impossible
it's a legal reality that you can.
Can you change your biological sex?
We can talk about biology, okay, and we can talk about the legality of it.
We're talking about biology, though. This thing is about sport. This is about males and females.
Well, the problem when we talk about biology is neither of us are scientists, but
You don't need to be a scientist to know male and women.
You and I both know that it's a lot more complicated.
I don't have to be a scientist to know that I'm a man and that Sasha over there is a woman. I don't have to be a scientist to know that. I don't have to be a scientist to know the biological differences between a man and a woman. You see, this is the type of idiotic claims or answers that people on her side will come up with just to because they know they're wrong. They know deep down they don't really know what they're talking about. So they just start spouting nonsense, and they always want to say, "Oh, well, you're not a scientist, so how would you know that?" The hell? Let me ask you something. Do you have to be a cat to know what a cat is? No, you just know what a cat is. You don't have to be a cat to know what a cat is. Just like how I don't have to be a scientist to know to know that a man is a biological male and a woman is a biological female. I'm done, man. Let's see what else you got to say.
What's the complication?
It's not as simple as, for me it's very simple. For you it may be very simple. But
no, you're overcomplicating it. He's the one making it simple. You're the one that's like overcomplicating it.
I think we're indulging an ignorance by not suggesting that there's more to it than that.
Can you become male?
I don't want to be
But can you become male? Is there anything that can be done?
He asked you if you can become a male, not if you want to. See what I'm talking about? Don't know what you're talking about. Delusional.
Turn you into a male in the way that I'm male and Piers is male. Is that possible?
See, now, do you see how you've qualified your question? So you first asked me, can I be turned?
It's not a trick question. It's either yes or no. You see how she's trying to deflect it? Man, I'm done with this video. I'm done with this video, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the reaction, man. I got some more reactions coming out for y'all, so stay tuned for that. This really is sad, man. Just watching this video is making my head hurt. So I'll see y'all on the next reaction, man. I hope y'all had a good day, and I'll see y'all later, man.